Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll video. This is episode 3 of the Spunky $500 Bant Trophy Challenge. If you haven't seen the first 2 episodes, check them out. I'll link them in the video description. But what's going on here is channel supporter Spunky has put up a $500 bounty for me to get a trophy with Bant control in 3 tries or fewer. 2 tries are already gone. This is try number 3. All of the money's on the line right now. I have not made any changes to the list since round 2. I think that this is a really solid list for the Magic Online metagame. This is PokeMoki's Dark Bant. Witherbloom Command is a great card. I love the numbers. I love 3 Prismatic Ending, 2 Endurance, 3 Uro, 1 Jace. Like, all these numbers just feel really good. And I have skewed it slightly towards combo because that's what I tend to see in the Magic Online leagues more often. Obviously, that's not a perfect science because sometimes you'll play against 5 fair matchups and wish that your deck didn't have the combos land. But other times, I've played a lot of leagues lately where it's just Oops All Spells twice, Doomsday, Epic Storm, and 8 cast. And that's like a pretty standard league. So I am going to keep the combo slant. What I've learned in the first 2 leagues is that you can afford to do that. This deck is so good in the fair matchups that you can afford to have a little bit of a edge towards combo, and it's not going to really cost you a whole lot in the fair matchups. My sideboard is extremely heavy against artifact decks, saga decks. I have Null Rod, Pernicious Deed, and Seeds of Innocence. I really don't want to lose to those decks. I think those are my scariest matchup. I'm lined up pretty well against Doomsday as far as combo decks go. Lined up pretty well against Epic Storm and Ad Nauseam, all those sort of things. It's the saga decks where you have to beat a combo plan and you have to beat Construct Beatdown that I'm pretty worried about. And we'll just have to outplay the Bant mirrors. Against lands, we have Witherbloom Command and Prismatic Ending that can remove Exploration. And if they're not exploring, then Uro will outgrind them. But if they are exploring, then they can outgrind us. There are no basics in the deck to play around Wasteland with. Just have to play into that. I've explained this deck twice already, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it here. That's just where I am. This is the list. $500 on the line. Let's go. 5-0 league. I'm on the play for round 1. This hand is perfectly defensible. I'm going to keep it. I love having the 1-up loam in my opener. Make sure my land drops keep coming. I'm just going to Flooded Strand and pass on turn 1. I don't know what I'm pondering for yet. It would be a shame to tap out, ponder, pick the wrong thing, and then also be tapped out for days if this is like Doomsday with a quick start. Underground Sea, huh? Careful Study. This feels like a Force of Will. I'm going to pitch Narset. I think I need the ponder. Any deck that has Careful Study in it wants that card to resolve. I'm going to fetch Tropical Island and cast Baleful Strix here. Pretty low impact, but so is everything. Like if they play like Stitcher Supplier next turn, I can Life from the Loam, get Savannah, exile the Supplier. Hogak is the deck that plays Careful Study, I think, or at least the most common deck in the meta that does that. Unmask. Pitching Archon of Cruelty. Okay, they are blue-black Reanimator. Sure. Good thing my hand is bad. I already used my Force of Will. Yeah, blue-black Reanimator is not a very popular or good deck. But they do have powerful starts. Let's hope that this lines up well. My sideboard is stacked in the direction of Graveyard Combo. I have an extra Surgical Extraction. Looks like it's not going to matter in this game 1. Dropped an Archon. Reanimate. Okay. Sack Baleful Strix. Discard Prismatic Ending. I could still draw Swords to Plowshares right now and be in business. It is disappointing that Archon doesn't line up, or Strix doesn't line up well against Archon. Ah! Always had it. Though they are the blue build, they could have days. I'm gonna grab Savannah. Or is it Tundra? No, it's Savannah that casts Endurance. Please don't have days. Okay, we're over that hump. There's not currently a monster in the graveyard, so they need to rebuild a monster and a reanimation spell on 3 cards in hand with 1 mana. I am going to Dredge Loam on my turn. That lets me hit the 4th land drop. It shreds looking for Uro. It also lets me cast Strix. If I find Wasteland, that could be a route out of this game. Start closing the door. They could be setting up an Entomb into reanimate here. I'm dredging Loam for the reasons I said. And I'm going to cast Strix. I think I want to do this off of Tundra. Black, blue. And I'm not dredging Loam again. There's Endurance. Please give me 1 turn. Okay. They didn't do anything on an entire turn cycle. Didn't Entomb in the end step. Uh-oh. Oh, they have 2 mana. This is enough to Entomb reanimate all at once. Oh, let me untap with this Endurance for fuck's sake. All right, they're passing priority. Okay. Press down is also a nice one, but Endurance should buy me a bunch of time. I can Mystic Sanctuary my Force of Will back on top of the deck. Though I think that's probably worse than Flusterstorm. Or maybe I just leave it all alone. This could also be a dredge turn. That just lets me hit land drops. And hope they've suddenly decided they're doing stuff. Alright, Hardcast Grief. Dress Down lines up beautifully against that. They can have a 3/2 menace. I'm not going to dredge Loam. I'm going to draw a card. Okay, now that I drew a land, I'm definitely not going to dredge Loam. Do I want Mystic Sanctuary? Mystic Sanctuary for Ponder is actually pretty exciting here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Mystic Sanctuary, regrow Ponder. And I'm not going to dredge Loam into the Ponder I just put on top of my deck. There we go. Big Uro Daddy. That's what I wanted. 1, 2, 3. If I Uro, it taps me out of Endurance, which is not where I want to be. I do not shuffle this. I could dredge Loam now and just escape Uro immediately. They have 1 card in their hand. Yeah, I am going to dredge Loam. That just dumped 2 Uros into my graveyard. And to put a green card in my hand for Endurance. Yeah, we're actually just good to go here. Cool. That lined up better than I forgot about the green card. That lined up extremely well. And here's Uro. Get a land drop. And I even get to attack now because I am winning the race against Grief. They would need discard spell, Entomb spell, and reanimate spell with 1 card in their hand, and that's not possible. They did just dump a Grizzlebrand. Animate dead. Cast by exiling Loam. Here's Endurance. Yeah, that was a cool play pattern. I was worried about not having Endurance up for the turn, just completely forgetting that Loam ends up in my hand when I dredge Loam. Cool. Put that in your folder of tricks. Surgical Extraction, what we're here for. They are a blue build of this deck, so I think Mystical Dispute plays. Run Afoul, Veil of Summer are both good. I don't think the rest of these are good. Prismatic Ending, pretty close to text list. Like, you can exile Animate Dead, but that creature will have already come into play at that point, so good luck. Witherbloom Command does very little in this matchup. Like, there's no targets for it in mini Abrupt Decay mode, which is the mode that makes it really good. Carpet, they are a blue deck, but I don't think I need that. Narset, is there something that's worse than Narset still in the deck? Jace might be worse than Narset. Normally I don't like Loam in these matchups, but we just saw an example of how Loam can supercharge a plan and let me keep developing. Is Narset better than Jace? Is Narset better than Swords to Plowshares? Probably. Like, Swords to Plowshares is only good if they get a monster into play, which, I mean, I'm bringing in Run Afoul, which is literally like acknowledging that they would get a monster into play. Does cutting Plow and bringing in Run Afoul make any sense, or is Plow just a better Run Afoul? And Plow also hits Grief. Run Afoul is also green for Endurance. If they like Thoughtseize Surgical my Plow, that leaves a Run-a-Foul in the deck. Like if they try to protect themselves that way. Don't know if that's a thing I should be thinking about. Okay, Run-a-Foul's out, Plow's back in. I think I talked myself out of that one. Nope, talked myself back into it. Green cards for Endurance matter a lot. Okay, I'm going in like this. I have 9 things I can do on turn 0, 5 Forces, 2 Endurance, 2 Surgical. And if I untap, I have all sorts of action with the Flusterstorm, Veil of Summer, Mystical Teachings. This is a keep. I would feel untouchable on the play, on the draw. If they can do their thing with protection, I'm in trouble. But if they spend a turn discarding me, then I get to untap into the other protection spell, because I do have 2. I have Fluster and Surgical. If they can Thoughtseize Surgical, Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, and Tomb Reanimate, then I'm fucked. But I wasn't beating that hand anyway. They took Surgical, that makes sense. That's the one that's free. They should be constricting my mana where they can. I'm gonna hold up Fluster for this turn. They don't know I just drew Swords to Plowshares. Like if they try to get clever with like Evoke Grief and then Animate Dead Grief without casting any instant or sorceries, then I can do something about that. I think this is an end step Brainstorm situation because I really need to hit my land drop and I don't want to tap out when it's important. Well, they snuck an Entombment on me. That's okay. I have another Surgical in the deck. I have Endurances I can find. Like so. There's Endurance and Run-a-Foul. They got Grizzlebrand, so Swords to Plowshares is bad. And I'm going to redraw the Loam. I can fetch Ponder right now. So I think I'd rather leave up YOLO opportunities. Like if I Endurance, they do something. I Fluster, they do something. Okay, I'm going to Fluster the Thoughtseize. They could Dark Ritual in response and pay for it, but I can still respond to that with Endurance and get rid of their Grizzle. Yeah, Run-a-Foul being a green card actually came up huge here, because I'd rather keep Loam in my hand than Run-a-Foul. Bang, Endurance. The power of Brainstorm, children. They Thoughtseized me, I cast Brainstorm, and my hand was totally different. Off to a good start. On the play against a Yorion deck. Yorion is a lot less information than it used to be. That used to be Death and Taxes. Now it could be also the 4-color Bant Zenith deck. Either way, I'm mulliganing the hand with no lands in it. I'm going to keep this one. Bottom one of the dress downs. Yeah, this hand's pretty solid. There aren't many unfair Yorion decks. Okay, Death and Taxes confirmed. I'm going to go for Strix here. Off of Underground Sea, I believe. Yep. This build of the deck is constructed with Death and Taxes in mind specifically. Let's hope that lives up to the hype. I'm not going to fight over Thalia because Uro's about to dump truck it. Play the Wasteland. Use that to cast Uro. Uro hits a land drop. And I'm still holding up Force of Will. Attack with my Strix. Spirit of the Lab. Do I want to fight over that? You know, I'm planning on pondering on my turn, so I probably better. So I can pay 3. I'm going to let that resolve. My plan is to pay 3 for Dress Down, which draws a card, turns off Spirit, and then also turns off Thalia. Then I can ponder, and if I find white anywhere in my top 5 or 6 cards, however many cards I'm seeing, or I could find white right away. And that lets me save my Dress Down for the future when I want it more. Here's Savannah. Swords to Plowshares, the Spirit. And I can pay 2 to ponder. That does, or I could hold up mana for dressing down a Stoneforge Mystic. I'm definitely attacking. That's happening regardless. All right, I'm going to hold up Dress Down, actually. Field of Ruin. That's really good against me. Mother. Stoneforge Mystic. Dress you right down. I guess if my plan was dressing down, I could have left back Strix to trade with Thalia, but they could have just attacked before they cast Stoneforge, and that's not even a thing. Okay. There's Stoneforge Mystic. Now I do have to work through this. Thalia. Dress Down's going to the graveyard. Wasteland's going to the graveyard. I do want to take out their Field of Ruin. If I draw a fetch land, I get to Uro this turn. That's not a fetch land. I could cast Ponder, but then I don't put the Wasteland in the graveyard. Right, I am going to cast Ponder. I'd really like to remove Mother of Runes before it's too late. Okay, I found the Plow. And Plow the Mother of Runes. I will not say the joke. And I'm going to Wasteland Field of Ruin because that is going to get me. And now Stoneforge Mystic can attack if they don't just already have Cauldron in their hand. Okay. This Thalia is attacking. It looks like I'm getting my Uro. Green, green, blue, blue, leaving up white. Here comes Uro. Let's put this land in. Okay, now I can attack with Strix. I have forced to protect my Uro at least once. So they haven't cast a spell in a long time. Don't know what they're holding on to over there. They didn't Plow in my end step, so they don't have Plow. That would have been the time to do it. There's Solitude, pitching Recruiter, Force, pitching Force. That's a 2 for 2. We take those. Please don't have another one. Okay, they do have another one, pitching Skyclave Apparition. All right. I spent 2 cards. They spent 4, and my Uro drew 2 cards on the way through. That was a really good exchange, though. I do need this Brainstorm to deliver the goods for the top of my deck. I need goods somewhere. Them missing their land drops. Screw beats Flood in Magic the Gathering. Well, hello. That was a good one. I'm going to Uro first, Brainstorm second. If I Brainstorm at all. We'll see what I draw. Oh, Teferi's a nice one for the future. Yeah, I'm just going to attack. I'll probably Brainstorm in the end step. Try to get some... Or I can Teferi next turn, bounce Thalia, and then have 2 cards in my hand to Brainstorm with, and Brainstorm only costs 1. Those are all nice things to be true. They continue not drawing any cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Blue, white, colorless, colorless. Here's Teferi. Then Thalia back to your hand. It's a lot of lands I've drawn, but that's what Brainstorm is for. Probably shouldn't have made that land drop. Nice. Okay, I can put these 2 lands back. If I hadn't made my land drop, I would get to keep my Caracas. I can float Caracas on top and see what the game looks like next turn. I'm not going to attack with Strix. If they want to use a removal spell to kill Teferi, that's a deal. But right now I have Teferi protected. Spirit of the Lab, that's what Witherbloom Command is for. Okay, drawing Caracas for the turn. I do actually want that card. And then I'm going to fetch Tropical Island. And then I'm going to plus Teferi. And Witherbloom Command. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to mill myself. Target myself with the mill. Target Spirit of the Lab. Black, green. Rebuy Wasteland. And then Uro. Green, green, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To put Caracas in and make my land drop of Wasteland. Still not going to attack with Strix. They can't Plow Uro anymore because they have Caracas. They spend it to earn Field of Ruining. It's not a big deal. All right, float white. They correctly identified I don't have any basics. If they have Swords to Plowshares, they can finish off Uro here. Looks like they don't. 4 cards in hand, we know 1 is Thalia. This is the part of the game where I'm miles ahead, I just need to use my time well. Okay. We got another 2 for 1 off of a Solitude. I take those deals every single time. Okay. Time for Jace to win the game. Plus Teferi. 1... blue, blue, colorless. Brainstorm with Jace. Put 2 lands back. I can shuffle and do nothing, so I'm just going to pass. I have the Teferi plus Bubble. Oh, Witherbloom Command and Prismatic Ending are both instants right now. Rooter of the Guard. Yep, don't have a response to that. Stoneforge, okay. Got a new hand here. Or new cards on top. There's one Uro left in my deck. Plus Teferi, Brainstorm with Jace. I don't actually want these lands at all, though Flusterstorm is really bad. Okay, land Flusterstorm can go back. I'll keep the other land. Holding up removal and counter spells. And Dress Down. Dress Down is nice because they did just tutor up that Stoneforge. I don't care about this because Prismatic Ending can get it no matter what. I named one deal. I'm gonna Wither Bloom. Where is this attacking? It's attacking Teferi. Okay. I'm gonna mill target them. This has been like a weird thing that I've been doing against Death and Taxes, and it hits Kaldra some outrageous amount of the time. They do have 1-ofs in their deck that they care about. Not that I specifically am like trying to mill Kaldra, like that's a plan, but when the number of cards in my deck matters, it's nice that you can mill them without too much pain. Brainstorm with Jace first. That'll inform what I need to do with Teferi. Put back Flooded Strand and Swords to Plowshares. And play Caracas. And then Teferi can bounce Sanctum Prelate. Doesn't need to do that, but I am doing it. Black. Blue for Strix. And then blue colorless. Blue for Narset. The gang's all here. The Force of Will in my hand. And I can attack with Strix this time. I'm winning this game, but I am down 4 minutes on the clock. Like, I do really, really, really need to make this happen. Uh-oh. They turned their Stoneforge Mystic sideways, then floated mana, as if I don't have Teferi in play. I think they're just gonna lose their Stoneforge here for free. Nope, still have Teferi in play. Sorry. Hate to break it to you. Thalia can resolve. I literally have Caracas in play. Send her back. Okay, I think it's time to start plussing with Jace. The card on the bottom. No, I don't care about that. Minus Narset. Ponder. The land. Plus Teferi. I have 7 cards in hand. Attack for 1. They don't have any haste creatures in their deck. Let's go. Drawing Timeless Dragon, which they can cycle and eventually do something with. Escape it, but I don't really care about that. Stoneforge Mystic. I'm going to dress that down. The land I don't really want. Plus with Jace. No, they can have Wasteland. That's not really important here. I'm going to cast Ponder. Alright, I found Uro. Now we're in business. I can win the game quickly. Colorless. Green, blue. Put a land into play. Mystic Sanctuary, target Ponder. Yes. Uro dies. Plus Teferi. Green. Blue. Green. Blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's Uro. Land into play. Attack. I have so many counter spells in my hand right now. I think attacking is pretty free. Wasteland. They can hit my Caracas. Casting Thalia into my Caracas again. Deal. The Sanctum Prelate. That also resolves. I have 1,000 answers to that. Bounce Thalia. I named 5 for Prelate. There's an Endurance left in my deck somewhere. Plus Teferi. Plus Jace. No, you can have Aether Vial all day here. Attack with Uro. No land to drop. Good feeling. I'm gonna Wasteland their Wasteland. And end white, black, blue. End their Prelate. Plow their Stoneforge. Solves. It's time to click fast and close this game out. Plus Jace. Yes, put that on the bottom. Plus Teferi. Attack with my creatures. And I'm just going to go to discard. Discard Loam and Brainstorm. Words to Plowshares. Force of Negation. Doesn't matter. Now they're dead. I guess they could have Mother of Runes, but that doesn't matter either. Not Activating any of my planeswalkers. All right, we got this game. They're up 7 minutes on the clock, so we have to win game 2. Game 2 gets a lot faster, though. Plague Engineer, Paradox Zone, Seeds of Innocence, Pernicious Deed all come in. Null Rod comes in. Narset, I think I like that one. Force of Negation, Force of Will. Don't really need 2 Endurance. I don't have time for Endurance, looping Endurance to be part of this game. Okay, maybe I don't need the second Narset. Just these hateful cards in, these counterspells out. We're just playing to the board here. Okay, let's do it. 11.5 minutes to win a game. I'm going to keep this hand. It's really good. No 1-drop. Love to see it. Thalia, sure. Just going to Strix. You get Underground Sea and Tundra to Strix with. I don't need to worry about curving out perfectly because Thalia means I can't Seeds anyway. Spirit's a good one. Okay, that's a good one too. Gonna get Bayou. Gonna name Human. Actually more worried about Thalia than I am about Spirit. These dress downs can tread water against the Spirit for a while. In a way that's a lot of fun. There's a 3/3 locked under that Skyclave Apparition. Land, and I'm gonna pass here. Second Rashadan Port. Delightful. Don't really have attacks here. In the end step, I'm gonna dress down. That means dress down's in play for my turn, which means even if they port me twice, I can put Uro in. Got me. Got me again. Okay, Uro is just heads up in play now. I don't get an ETB trigger, but it doesn't die. Can't attack with Strix because they have a 2/2 to my 1/1, and it doesn't have Death Touch or Flying. Now we're free again. And they could just hardcast Solitude here. And maybe Uro's better just always drawing a card and not getting clever. But Pernicious Deed can mop up this board later. It voted Uro off the island. This Deed's going to sit in play and just ruin the game for them. They didn't have their 5th land drop. It's good. Black, green, colorless. There's Pernicious Deed. Good luck, have fun. This is fun because if they don't attack, I get to Deed in the end step and then have a 3/3 and just get to work. If they do attack, I can just line up good blocks and save the Deed for later. I should have fetched Savannah there. I have a fetch land in my hand. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Okay, bang for 3. Let's clear this all out. I get a 3/3. They have to tap to port me. Then I get to Strix. Black, blue, Strix. All right, hold up Brainstorm and dress down. I don't need to Null Rod yet. They have nothing. They have no null rods to null. Dress down hits Solitude as well. A good one to hit. Stoneforge, also a good one. Stoneforge is sleepy. I have Null Rod and Seeds to combat the Stoneforge with. Neither of those help with Cauldra. Gonna Brainstorm. Don't need this land. I'll find Mystic Sanctuary when I need it. Fetch for Savannah here. White. Black. Matic Ending. I just want to make sure I don't get cheesed by like the Cauldra that's already in their hand. Ponder. Swords to Plowshares, Prismatic Ending, Endurance. Yeah, these are all cards. I can even slide my Null Rod in this turn. And then Paradox Zone is gonna crush this game. Next turn. If they just spend all their mana to port me 3 times, like not even good. Okay, Batter Skull. Yeah, Batter Skull can't be picked up or re-equipped because of Null Rod. It's to Plowshares. Paradox Zone. Here we go. Fair matchup. Solo card. They could just hardcast Cauldra this turn if they have a land, but I have Prismatic Ending on top of my deck to exile the Germ. Like I said, the sideboard games are a lot faster. And I get to F6 a lot because I boarded out all my counterspells. Oh shit, is Flusterstorm still in my deck? Yeah, I didn't cut my Flusterstorm. Whoops. Yeah, I should have 1 Force of Will in the deck and 1 less Flusterstorm. Awkward. They went after my Baleful Strix. That's interesting. Why is that the card you care about? I'm just going to keep mushing. Like I get a 4/4 in the end step. They can't re-equip. Porting my white in my main phase for some reason. Sure. If they can remove Null Rod and then re-equip, that's pretty strong. But even that, I can double block with Endurance and Fractal, or just ignore it for a turn and have an 8/8 Fractal starting next turn. Rooter of the Guard. Okay. Skyclave Apparition can exile the Null Rod, but it can't exile the Fractals because it says non-token creature on it. They could get Flicker Wisp to clear a Fractal and attack for 3, but then Endurance eats their Solitude. Paradox Zone is too big to be exiled with Skyclave Apparition. If they have that Cathar Commando thing, they can spend a card to get rid of Paradox Zone. That would work. Yep, there it is, Cathar Commando. Resolves. Probably would have liked to get rid of Null Rod with that, but nope. Oh, they're just doing it in the main phase too. Like, they could have waited till combat. They could have waited until combat, like get a block out of it. That doesn't trigger till my end step. I'm just gonna slam Endurance now. I'm gonna target nobody. Trying to close this game. I wouldn't make that play in real life, by the way. White, green, blue. I wouldn't make this play in real life either. I would just attack, but I am trying to get this game over. Have to block or you're dead. Or you go to 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, they must have a plow? Or no, they think 1 is as good as 2. They're probably right. Wasteland, don't care. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's enough mana to get Yorion, cast Yorion, Flicker, Batterskull, and have the lifelink blocker. But I have Prismatic Ending and Seeds of Innocence, both available to punch through my last damage. Okay, we did it. 13 minutes to win game 1, 4 minutes to win game 2. Thanks, Paradox Zone. Prismatic End the Germ. GG's 2-0. On my way to that trophy. Let's go. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play in round 3. I'm going to keep this hand. I'm going to Underground Sea Ponder. I know this hand needs lands no matter what I'm playing against. I also get to pretend on Doomsday for a turn. I like doing that. Alright, that was the perfect Ponder because I found a land and a Force of Will. I get to pad my hand with a Force of Will just in case, and I have the land drop waiting that I was looking for. And I have both Plow and Force in this hand, which means whether they're fair or unfair, I have a tool, and then I have Brainstorm to get rid of the tool that's not right for the matchup. Volcanic Island. Okie. There's a Brainstorm on top of my deck right now. See what this turn ends up looking like. I have my next land drop lined up. I have my next Brainstorm lined up. I have Brainstorm with Fetch available right now. I can Dress Down right now. I can Plow or Force right now. Like, this hand, this is not a turn where I need to do anything other than play a land. I might not do anything next turn except play a land either. It depends on what they do here. Yeah, if we want to play land, go. That's a type of game I'm well suited to. Make my land and pass. I'll Brainstorm at the end step of this turn coming up. Ooh, a Grixis strategy. Oh, is this Storm? This is starting to feel like Storm. The fact that they went land go more than once. I'm going to Brainstorm like their Storm in their end step here, unless they go for it this turn. Okay, Brainstorm. Pack up this Swords to Plowshares and Dress Down. Fetch in my upkeep. I need a white source here. Tundra qualifies. If I cast a fairy, I still have double Force, double blue card. Okay. We'll find out right now if they're Storm or not. If they can interact with this Teferi, if this is like Grixis control, they're going to want to fight over this Teferi. If it's Storm, it's just going to resolve because they don't play counterspells. They could also like Veil of Summer to draw a card and then go. Very resolved. I'm going to minus to draw a card immediately. Ponder is a good one. And I can shuffle this. That's not what I'm looking for. More Uros and more Dress Downs. I have that already. Thoughtseize, they can take one of my forces. I have 2. But they're going to know. This is not the Epic Storm. If it is Storm, it's Ad Nauseam. Or Peer into the Abyss. TES doesn't play Thoughtseize. They took Brainstorm. Okay. Do they have a Cabal Therapy then? That would be bad for me. Lightning Bolt. Okay. Maybe this is Grixis control. And they've baited me. Lightning Bolt would not be in a Storm deck. But Uro can basically go coast to coast against Grixis control. Alright, Grixis control confirmed. They did trick me. That went on for a very long time. But I do have the best card there is. The reason Grixis control isn't a big deck anymore is Uro. Here's Uro before I make my land drop. So if Ponder finds a land, I can still play it. Ponder, land, and 2 backup Uros. That's good money. Grixis sometimes main decks Cling to Dust, which is an answer to Uro, but they probably don't main deck Surgical. They've collected their pound of flesh with Baleful Strix, their ounce of flesh. If they do have Cling to Dust here, Snapcaster Mage, okay. This is probably going to Ponder looking for Cling, or Brainstorm looking for Cling. Wow, they're just thought seizing me here. That's weird. Have fun with that. They probably take Endurance. I was about to say, if they have the Cling to Dust, I would pay 3 mana to Endurance their Cling next turn, and then pay 3 mana to play the front half of Uro. Yeah, they took Endurance. That's just like the different card. Okay, here he comes. Green, green, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to fetch in response to the Uro trigger. I don't actually want the 3rd Uro. I think I want to get Underground Sea in case I draw Strix. Does that make sense? I could just put Ponder in my hand right now and cast it. Nah, I'll just get another green. I have a land drop I can make, or I can just hold up Dress Down for the next Snapcaster Mage. Yeah, I kind of like dressing down here. Dress Down doesn't get a lot of play in this matchup. So I'm gonna take it where I can get it. This is where they surprised me with a 4th color and cast Prismatic Ending. Fatal Push. Yeah, sure. That's why Grixis doesn't line up well against Uro. That already drew 2 cards, gained 6 life, made some extra land drops, and then they're like, aha, Fatal Push. Then make a mighty attack that gains back, or takes back the life that Uro just already gained. If I were playing Grixis in this economy, I would have at least 2 main deck Clings, maybe 3. It's pretty bad. Grix. Press that down. It's for good measure. Anywhere I can take a card off them feels good. And putting another card in my graveyard matters a lot right now, because that's the card for Uro. Okay, I can Witherbloom command and then pick Uro. Alright, target player mills 3 and return a land. I'll target myself, target their Snapcaster. Wait, I don't care about Snapcaster. Target player mills 3. Alright, target myself and their Strix. Green, black. Oh, if I do this, green, black, green, green, blue, blue. Okay, yeah. I have to tap this way. Pick up Misty Rainforest. Play the Misty. Green, green, blue, blue. I hit Loam off that. That's pretty exciting. I'm leaving Endurance in the graveyard. If this game goes long to a point where I have to Endurance myself, like Endurance looping Endurance means I'll never deck, which could actually matter. Yeah, just because of Uro, I have more lands in play, more cards in my hand, and more life than them, despite them casting so many more spells than me this game. And they conceded. That's smart. If they can't clear the Uro, they know they're not going to. Paradox Zone, Narset, Mystical Dispute, Hydroblast, Carpet, Veil. Plague Engineer can name Bird. Yeah, Bird, or Human, or Wizard, but I don't think that's actually what I want. I'm actually gonna cut all my Swords to Plowshares. Uro's life gain can offset what they're doing pretty dramatically in combat. Unless they have like a Gurmag Angler or a Murktide Regent, then that's something I'd want Plow for. But I still have Strix and Teferi that can, and Jace that can all respect that. I'm not going to bring in Run Afoul just for Baleful Strix. I could bring in Surgical. That would mess with their Snapcasters a little bit. Their Kolagon's Command endgame is part of the thing. Dress Down is the card I'm looking at, because Dress Down does counter Snapcaster Mage, and which is a pretty big deal. Counter the important part of Snapcaster Mage anyway. They're going to have surgicals from my Uros post board, so I can't really count as on Uro as a win condition. Then I have to win with my Endurances and Jace. Oh, I'm bringing in Paradox Zone. That's right. Yeah, that card's really good. Force of Negation and Force of Will can go out. I want some number of Force of Wills because we are probably going to have a slap fight over some important Planeswalker at some point. And they have Red Blast to remove Planeswalkers, and I have Prismatic Ending to remove Planeswalkers, so we both can beat a resolved Planeswalker. Yeah, I think this is the deck I'm going to submit, at least with the information I have going into this game. Grixis is famously bad at answering enchantments, so this Paradox Zone, I just got to find my spot, and then that should win the game on its own. Oh, hell yeah. We keep hands with Carpet of Flowers. This hand's really bad if they Thoughtseize me, though. I do need this carpet to function. Okay, cool. Just a ponder. Deal. Did not shuffle. Savannah, I drew the ponder. That's awesome. That lets me use my carpet mana if this resolves. Cool, it resolved. Yeah, being able to spend your carpet mana on turn 1 is so fucked up. Blue, ponder. Found the land. Found the brainstorm. Finding the land is big. That means turn 2 Narset. And if they play an island, it's turn 2 Narset with Mystical Dispute backup. Or it could be turn 2 Jace without protection. Woof. It's good either way. Okay, it's turn 2 Narset without protection. Oh, him to truck. Oh, they took my Narset and my Jace. Fuck, that was actually a really good him. Okay, I'm going to, yes, make blue, cast Brainstorm. I don't want... Okay, the endings... This is actually kind of tricky because I kind of want to wasteland them now. I can't cast Strix with this mana. I think I want to put Ending and Strix back and then waste them. Take out the bad lands. I just left the worst cards in my hand. Yeah, I forgot about Him to Turok. It's been a while since I played against this deck. Not that I had an answer for it in my hand, but I do have all the answers for it. I have the Veil and the Fluster in. God, that him hitting Narset was so fucked, though. That would have been the play. Flooded Strand does not fetch Badlands. They have to get an island off this one. And the Thoughtseize, yep. That's why I hid the good cards. They probably take Dispute, would be my guess. Though I'd be really excited if they take Ending. Okay, cool. I hit another one of those on top of my deck. They must be planning to resolve a Planeswalker. Yes, make blue. That means I can cast Baleful Strix, and they know about the Mystical Dispute that I'm currently representing, but I can't cast it. Okay. This is definitely a weird, scrappy game. Uro would still break this game open, by the way. Time to slam Narset. Oh, Liliana, sure. Okay, that's dead. That's why they took Prismatic Ending. Liliana is usually pretty good in these control mirrors. I gotta make blue. Yes, make blue, blue, blue. White, black. Prismatic Ending. White, blue, black. With the Mystical Dispute still up. And now I'm holding up Mystical Dispute going into their turn as well. So if their plan was to pivot and jam Jace, that's not a thing. Do I slam on this? I don't think so. They're going to have Jace or Snapcaster or some better target for Mystical Dispute eventually. Need to draw a spell, though. Not a spell. Okay, I have enough mana up that I can Mystical Dispute Kolagon's command, just cancel mode. Oh, interesting. I still feel like this is bait. Even if it's not bait, the fact that their deck has Jace in it, and 2 of my 3 endings are gone, I don't think I can move on that. They did not crack their fetch. They like their cards. Okay, I'm going to hard cast Mystical Dispute on this. I think Tropical Island is the one I want. This is a freebie. If they Red Blast this, they just get a land. I'll trade a land for Red Blast most of the time in this matchup. But they should be able to identify that I don't have a spell, or else I would have cast it with my infinite mana last turn. Alright, come on, Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have plenty of mana to Uro and escape Uro without passing priority to Graveyard Hate. 6 Sanctuary. We're getting Ponder. Okay, so they're in scrap mode too. I can Mystic Sanctuary next turn. I just hope I don't have to. Oh, baby. Well, that's bad. Okay, I guess I'm playing on my Carpet of Flowers. Was not ready for that. Yes, make blue. Life from the Loam normally is what you want against Blood Moon, but my deck has 0 basics in it. Yeah, I don't actually know if this is winnable. I guess they need to play another island. Blood Moon, huh? I have Hydroblast in the deck. Okay, this is winnable. We did not shuffle. Scary. Make my land drop and pass. I think I'm going to die very slowly to this Baleful Strix. Oh, I can still cast Paradox Zone with what I have too. Yeah, that would win the game on its own. Yeah, we got plays. They're probably trying to pad up their hand at this point with just like a Force of Will. Blue-black. So the swamp is what they kept on top with Ponder. Let's see if they can add to their board, or if they just held on to that swamp for the future. I hope they thought sees me. Paradox Zone. Get in for another one. Show me the zone. Burrow. Okay. That's not helpful. Yeah, I don't have a way to get blue-green. Like, it is one or the other. Even if they play another island carpet, you have to pick a color to play on. Ponder. Okay, great. An actual spell I can cast. Make blue. Ponder. Find the zone. Oh, that's a shuffle. Teferi. Nope. That's also a gold card. Kolaghan's Command in the end step. I'll discard Uro. Free money. They just dealt 2 to me with that. It was pretty aggressive. They must feel like this game is unlosable, and they're just trying to save time. I am happy to incinerate some time. Alright, exiling Uro is great. It's a dead draw. Can't use it anyway. Confirm that Surgical's in the deck. They do get to see the Paradox Zone right now and know what they are playing to beat. Hydroblast is a good draw. Paradox Zone is the best draw. Just doubled their clock. Brachis. I'm making mana with Carpet in the main phase just to save time, because it's going to trigger twice and I have to click through the trigger twice. I'm not trying to like bluff anything or be cute. I'm just saving clicks. I'm going to save the Mystic Sanctuary just in case they Kolaghan's Command for discard mode again. Just keep a installation card in my hand. Snapcaster Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, this is going to do a bunch of damage. 2 from K Command goes to 7. Attack for 4, put me to 3. Alright, yeah. Story checks out. Paradox Zone can still win this game. Wait, yeah. No, I can't. I can trade with Snapcaster Mage. Oh god, I drew it. Do I even cast it? Yeah. I'll put the fear in him. This can block Snapcaster for a turn. So at this point, they gotta have a counterspell ready, right? Or any removal spell also does it. Thanks for showing up, Paradox Zone, you fuck. I needed you 3 turns ago. I think we would have actually won this game. Alright, I'm at 1. Swords to Plowshares doesn't... Oh, those are not in my deck. Never mind. Doesn't help me anyway. I could still draw the Hydroblast, hit the Blood Moon, bounce a Strix with Teferi. Okay, they had K Command for lethal. Yeah, I was still playing there. Okay, Blood Moon. Do I have any answers to that that aren't already in? I mean, I could bring in Deed and just sit it and play forever, but I could bring in Force of Will, but wow, I don't want to do that. I think the trick is just going to be ahead. And I have the Hydroblast still. I could replace one of the Dress Downs with Force of Negation. That is something I can cast on curve and counter Blood Moon. Yeah, I'm going to shave a Dress Down and put a Force of Negation back in the deck. I don't really like playing to the stack in these matchups, but if they have something like Blood Moon, I'm going to have to. Seeds only gets artifacts, not enchantments. Okay. Carpet of Flowers, extra important. Hydroblast, important. That Hymn to Turok of theirs on turn 2 that game, that hit my Narset, that would have come down turn 2. Like, that was, I think, a significant part of that game. I'll keep this one. No great plan against Hymn to Turok here, but I have forces. Strix and Witherbloom Command are both great in this matchup. I get to play Strix on curve and don't have to worry about tapping out into Blood Moon. Underground Sea from the opponent. Burrow's a good one. Underground Sea and Tropical Island. Cast Baleful Strix and Witherbloom Command and Uro. Strix. Draw land, maybe? Jace. Do like Jace. Witherbloom Command, great card on this turn. Ooh, Uro might be better. If I Witherbloom Command and they have their Surgical, they could knock out my strands. I don't think that matters, though. So I do really like Uro. There he is. But you did the test immediately. Getting land drops left and right. If they have Surgical, do I force it? I don't think so. Now this Force of Will has Blood Moon written all over it. All right, they're making moves. Finally cracked that turn 1 fetch land. They got a 3-drop. Right, it's not Blood Moon, or they would have fetched an island. Into Turok. Solves. They hit my Force and my Jace. Okay, that's actually really bad. Now I might have to force a Surgical. Fetch. That puts the 5th card in the bin. I have blue, blue, and green, green. If I get Tundra, that's blue, green, green. And all my colors are set up. They're not going to have days. Right. Blue, blue, green, green. Could Red Blast. Do I settle in against Red Blast? Or do I force and bet against Blood Moon? I'm going to bet. This might be crazy, but I'm here for it. Land drop. So they have to answer Uro and Blood Moon. So they don't have Blood Moon, or they would have fetched Island last turn. They don't have Surgical, and they don't have Blood Moon. Oh fuck, there's the Island. If they Blood Moon Red Blast here, I'm dead. They have Ponder. So that means they can't Blood Moon and Red Blast this turn. They'd have to pick one or the other. Come on, let me get my Narset on the stack before Blood Moon shows up. Thoughtseize, okay. See what they're worried about here. Probably Narset, I guess. Oh, interesting. Their hand just double Red Blast. Helpful Strix, okay. They let me have Narset. Oh, that's because the Strix Witherbloom command clears Strix for free. Got it. Alright, that makes sense. 1, 2, 3. I can still command this turn. Green, black, blue, blue, blue. Yeah, alright. Let's get the Mystic Sanctuary. If they're worried about it, I'm doing it. Witherbloom command, target player mills 3 and a creature dies. Black, green. Target the Strix. Pick up a land. I'm gonna attack first. Let my Uro trigger, put this land into play, see what happens. Flusterstorm. Perfect. That's why you attack first. Now Narset comes down. Get to work here. Find Hydroblast, please. Very. Not the hottest, but I mean, I'm pretty far ahead on this board. Blood Moon plus Answer Uro is how they get out of this. One or the other isn't good enough. Oh, they're just passing the turn. Wow. Sweet relief. I don't know what that means for me. I'm going to activate Narset first. Get this Ponder. I guess I should have played Teferi first. But it's fine. Now I'm going to play Teferi. If they have a trick, they have to do it now. I can fluster a Kolaghan's command. 2 to Narset. Okay, this is getting flustered. If they have Red Blast, they can kill Uro or win the fight over Teferi, but not both. Yeah, and the way they've played this game, I didn't think they had either. Let's put them to 1. Now they die to Strix, even if they have Blood Moon plus removal for Uro. I'm going to minus Teferi on nothing. Fill up my hand. If I can find a Force of Will, that would be a delightful change of pace here. These lands back. Fetch. Now I'm going to ponder trying to find a Force just to add up the last turn here. On Force. Endurance, Brainstorm, that's not it. Right, ended up with Endurance anyway. Okay, and now they have to kill Uro and kill Strix and stop me from playing any more spells through Narset and Teferi. Then even if they do all that, they then have to win the game in 5 minutes. Playing to my outs here. There's money on the line. All right, 3-0. We lost the game where we got cheesed by Blood Moon, and we pretty easily won the 2 games where we cast Uro. All right, next round. On the draw in round 4, I'm going to keep this hand. It's got a Force if they're broken. It's got a Plow if they're fair. And Narset's good either way. Once upon a time. Okay. Are we Elves? Are we Hogak? Are we 12 post? There are hands, and if I had more information, I might crack off Force and Negation on Once Upon a Time. There are decks where that's really insane, and decks where it doesn't do anything. Okay. you're this. This has been the bane of my existence lately. I will force a negation a Faithless Looting here. Yeah, not on my watch. The Street Wraith already cycled. That's one card for the Hollow one. The looting would have been the next two. I think Wasteland is the play here. I got to constrict their options early. Let's just play turn 1 over again. Yes, that's what I wanted to see. Cheese mode activate. I'm going to get Tundra so I can ponder now and plow next turn. Fairy Uro. I do kind of want the 4th land, but I don't want to Fairy and Uro. I'm going to shuffle this. Ended up with the 4th land. Pass the turn again. Pass the turn again. Pass the turn again. Yeah, they passed the turn again. Come on, Motobug. I did hit shuffle, right? I drew land to Fairy. This is not the same land that I had, so it's not actually a Motobug. At this deck, if they end up going to discard to hand size, they could actually be making 1/1s with that. Like, they have 8 Root Wallas in this deck. All right, they discarded Vengevine instead. Okay, I'm going to Uro, which is going to let me leave up mana for Swords to Plowshares next turn. Oh, wait, no. No. You cast Teferi here because Madness doesn't work with Teferi in play. All right, there we go. Almost missed that line, but figured it out at the last second. Yeah, Madness, the whole Madness mechanic simply doesn't function with Teferi in play because you can't cast spells with the Madness trigger on the stack, or you can't cast sorceries with a trigger on the stack. So Madness makes itself not usable. I'm sure that didn't make sense, but believe me when I say that's good. Plague Engineer on Lizard, GG. Surgical Extraction, Carpet, Run Afoul, Veil, Seeds, Paradox Zone, Pernicious Deed, yes. Hydroblast, yes. Endurance, yes. Teferi, yes. Force of Negation, no. Jace the Mind Sculptor, no. Dress Down, no. Plow, big yes. Force of Will on the draw I actually do like, because you generally have to interact with this deck literally however possible. Like the turn 1 Faithless Looting, the turn 1 Lion's Eye Diamond, like whatever it is, whatever the enabler is, hit it because you're not going to be able to catch up otherwise. I think Witherbloom Command might be a little soft for this matchup. Their creatures are a lot bigger than Witherbloom Command can answer. Paradox Zone can take over in a mid game, but Uro's already going to do that. And I can't afford to have Paradox Zone gum up in early hand. Just all of my spot removals in. Plague Engineer on Lizard takes out a significant portion of what they can do. All right, yeah, this looks good. Let's go. Okay, this one's really awkward. Surgical stops Vengevine, but it doesn't stop Madness cards, and I can't cast... Yeah, if this was Tundra, I would Snapcave this hand, but I'm going to mulligan as it is. Okay, this one's much better. I'm going to keep this and bottom Prismatic Ending. I can pitch something to force, I can cast Swords to Plowshares, and then I'm a land away from Teferi. Burning Inquiry. I'm going to fight over that. Can I cheese Wasteland again? Ooh, that might be even better. Alright, I can Swords to Plowshares and Surgical. That covers a lot of the things their deck can do. Yikes. Alright, well, that's resolving. They hit my Teferi, my land, and my Swords to Plowshares. Uh-oh. That sucks. Okay, Basking Root Wall is here now. Faithless Looting. I mean, okay. I could have Brainstormed in response, but I still think that Brainstorm on my turn is going to do more for me. Blazing Root Wall. There's no Vengevine over there. They could Hollow One this turn. Alright, I want to Brainstorm on my turn if I don't draw the land. Storm, come on, lands. Okay. Saying there's a chance. The Plague Engineer on Lizard, like, it's live. There it is. I'm going to put back the 2 fetch lands and keep all my spells. Surgical can keep Vengevine off my back. They clearly don't have a Hollow One, or they would have cast it last turn. And then I can mop up the Lizards this turn. Once Upon a Time. Finding Vengevine. Okay, I'm ready for that one. Probably buff their Lizard this turn. Yep. Okay. We're stable. I need a green source with this. Do I need a third blue? Savannah. I don't need a second black. There are a lot of black cards in my hand. Savannah is a green source and a second white source. Do I need that? Do I need to play around Choke? I don't think they're going to have Choke. Still getting Savannah. Plague Engineer on Lizard. If you all thought I was kidding during sideboarding, I wasn't. We could hardcast Vengevine here. I'll take 4 and use Strix to block it next turn. I'm not going to trade my Plague Engineer for that. There you go. Yeah, I can go to 10. Acceptable. Hit. Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay. I like a land. Blue, black. Strix time. Brachus. They don't have any legends in their deck, and I don't have any legends in play. I'm not going to attack. In case they do have, like, Red Blast or some shit to clear my Strix, I will block this turn. I don't want to go to 6 against this deck. Angie's Ravager, shit. That was one of the cards I was worried about. That was the one and only card in their hand I was worried about. Okay, they're just looting from hand. They were going to discard that anyway. That good thing the Plague Engineer's in play right now. Because Root Wallas are the thing I'd be worried about here. And now it's just dead. It does count as casting a creature for Vengevine related purposes. A Ravager has to fight. I'm going to trade my board for their board this turn. If I get to block. Okay, blocks. Creatures are gone. I get to extract Vengevines, and I can pay mana to do it. As long as I don't think fetching Bayou is too disruptive. And I don't. I need a second green source eventually anyway. Okay, they're looting, looking for Root Wallas here. That's good for me. They did find one. They get to cast this, which triggers Vengevine because they cast the other Root Walla earlier. Gonna get Bayou and cast Surgical Extraction on Vengevine. Oh god. Hollow 1. Alright, Hollow 1 is coming down this turn, and they have Ravager in their hand. 3 Angers. Yeah, they don't actually have any sideboard of any kind. They're still just throwing shit at the wall. There's not like a single removal spell or Red Blast or anything in this deck. Okay, Ravager looting Hollow 1. I gotta beat a Hollow 1 this turn. I can exile... Yeah, Hollow 1 costs 5. So Prismatic Ending can't get it. Oh yeah, that was the best card I could draw. I'm gonna Uro, leaving up blue-white, because that casts the removal and the cantrips in my deck. That was great. Finding a second Prismatic Ending. That means I can Prismatic End this Root Walla now to save that damage, and I don't have to worry about saving one for Angie's Ravager next turn. What I'm worried about is them casting the Faithless Looting in their hand, discarding Ravager and Anger. If they can get angry this turn, that's actually really bad. But if they have to pass without attacking, I can control that. Fuck, they found the Anger. Of course they found the Anger. Why wouldn't they find it? And now they get to refill their hand again. They do get to put Uro into play next turn. I'm not sure if that's good enough. Oh, and their last card in hand was just a castable Root Walla for the extra point of damage. Nothing's coming my way right now. They get to refill their hand. They have Lion's Eye Diamond. Yeah, if they bricked on Anger this turn, I think I'm pretty firmly in control of this game, but right now I'm flying by the seat of my ass. Hollow 1, sure, why not? Bond Terminus. Yep, not Light from the Loam's not what I wanted. Blue, blue, green, green. Uro can bring me to 7. If I draw Swords to Plowshares, I can go to 1. Oh, they're casting 2 more things in response. The last 2 cards in their hand were Angie's Ravager and Blazing Root Walla. Oh my god. They're just showing off right now. Okay. And they use their floating mana to buff their Root Walla. That'll show me. Okay, I'm dead. Alright, now we gotta win a game on the play. Things get better there. And I didn't bring in Null Rod because you can't get Null Rod down before their first Lion's Eye Diamond. But if we're going to get grindy like this, maybe I don't need to beat the first Lion's Eye Diamond. Like, is shutting down the second one actually good? I don't think that's how we do this. Flusterstorm might be better as Force of Negation or Dress Down. They do have the Burning Inquiries, Faithless Lootings. No, I think they do have enough enablers that Flusterstorm is worth a slot, and it's blue for Force. All else fails. I don't think Witherbloom Command is where I want to be. Yeah, same deck, let's go. Ponder is good, Strix is good. I'm going to keep this. There's nothing explosively hateful, but I do get to Ponder at least. If my Ponder finds a Force, then I'm going to feel really good about my chances. Wow, opponent mulled to 3 and then conceded. Okay, I feel really good about my chances after all. Wow, we take those. All right, 4-0. Final round, here we go. I'm on the play in the final round against Arkin, Legacy Streamer. I cannot keep this hand. Arkin has been into Reanimator quite a bit lately, but I mean, this hand is hot fire against Reanimator, but not really playable against anything else. I have to mulligan. Okay, this is a well-rounded Magic the Gathering hand. I'm going to keep this. Bottom the Wasteland and just play a fetch land. Ship it. This is Reanimator. I'm going to be very disappointed. Okay. Oh, it's Enchantress. I don't know what that means for me. It means that my Witherbloom command gets to kill this Wild Growth. Like that. Do I want to command now or ending now? No, ending can get something better later. Okay. Get the black source. Target player mills 3, destroy a thing. Target myself, target your Wild Growth. Green, black. That was pretty hot. Pick up Polluted Delta. Teferi and Prismatic Ending are some of my best cards against Enchantress. Pernicious Deed in the sideboard is going to go really big. Go with the Enchantress, that sucks. That would have been the spot to have Swords to Plowshares. Flusterstorm is not really a card for this matchup. Pretty sure I want a plus first. And if they Oblivion Ring, that sucks. I didn't get a card, but there will be permanents worth bouncing in this matchup. I'm glad I didn't keep that one lander. Plague Engineer can answer Enchantress after board. Feathersworn Canonist is actually not bad either, because in the mid game they do try to go off drawing millions of cards a turn off of 1 mana enchantments. Just bounce, bounce, bounce. Okay, Enchantress, Narset also obviously really good against the deck that's trying to draw cards. Elephant Grass, that is textless in this matchup for the most part. All right, they got 2 of them. It is a 1 mana cantrip. That's actually good. Wow, they're a Wasteland version of Enchantress. I don't know that I've seen that before. Right, sending a message by attacking Teferi. Good one. I'm going to minus Teferi, targeting nothing. I do actually want to draw a card now that I remember Narset's in my deck, and I have the 3 mana to cast it. I can end the Wild Growth if I think that's important. Yeah, I mean, gating their mana is, I think, the game I need to play right now. Because I've already missed on gating their Enchantresses. If they end up paying for these Elephant Grasses, that's all the mana they have now. And then that affects their ability to Serra Sanctum. Another Enchantress, that sucks. Ooh, no enchantment, though. Plus Teferi. Force of Will is actually a pretty good draw, because that lets me use this Flusterstorm for something. They have a Dryad Arbor to punish me with. Nope, just a Plains. Okay, deal. My plan is to fetch Mystic Sanctuary, rebuy Brainstorm this turn, and try to get some juice in the tank. Finding Narset would give me a lot of relief here. Cast out. Do I care about Teferi? I mean, if they care, I care, right? Do I have a way to remove Cast Out otherwise? Oh, I can Prismatic Ending Cast Out later and get my Teferi back. That's interesting. Yeah, that's fine. I'll save my force for something bigger. Okay, I get to Brainstorm here. Sanctuary, rebuy Brainstorm. Or I could rebuy the ending. Blue, white, green. No, I can't. I don't have enough colors. Okay. Just get Brainstorm. Stick to the Narset plan. Or Uro. Get my own engine online. Well, Narset. I'll take an Uro. Put back Swords to Plowshares and Flusterstorm. I get to cast Uro, which redraws the blue card for Force and Wasteland. I might want to save this Wasteland for Serra Sanctum, but they've been operating like they're pretty pinched on mana. They did just draw 2 cards. Sithis is basically unbeatable. I mean, that's one of the few targets for removal, but I did just bury my Swords to Plowshares. I'm going to crack off a Force on that. Because the plow was still on top of the deck, right? Yeah, I guess I could have just drawn Swords to Plowshares, fetch, plow Sithis, unearth Uro, still have Force in my hand. Okay, yeah, I got a little crazy there. Utopia Sprawl. They name red, I'm scared. in Modern, it's very common for Enchantress to play Blood Moon. Okay, now I'm going to shuffle away the Swords to Plowshares. First, I'm going to scare you. Dryad Arbor. I actually need Bayou. Oh shit, I can't get Bayou, because this is Flooded Strand. Alright, guess I'm getting Tropical Island. Yeah, I need double green. Okay, that does also produce black. Green, green, blue. Blue. Here comes Uro. Endurance. Yeah, not great. Okay, here we are. Uro's in play. They have an on thin ice for Uro, sure. Don't have an answer to that. Just gonna start getting some F6 value. Enchantress can take a long time to win, but I'm down a minute on the clock. And I will play to all my outs. This is a match for $500. It's the second time in a week that I'm playing a single game of Magic Online for $500, and I will take every single out I can get. Make no mistake. There's Sarah's Sanctum, so infinite mana. Let's hope it takes a while to find a win con. Or they can just jam Felidar Retreat right now. Is that actually good? I already made your land drop for the turn. Can start buffing the Enchantresses and getting rowdy. But then Endurance can eat them. Play from the Loam. Okay, that's cool. I figured Loam would be in here somewhere when I saw the Wasteland. Ugh. Really did not need another land here. I wonder if they have an enchantment that dumps lands into play somehow. Like, are they playing Exploration? That would be cool. Do they even Dredge Loam? Is that something you do here? Paladin class, my goodness. Spells your opponents cast cost more. Creatures get +1/+1 whenever you attack. Okay. So this is the plan to win the game. They're just going to max out Paladin class. It's cool. Another one. Okay, so Endurance costs 5 right now. And missing on the first Enchantress is really tough for blue decks. Once all their spells cantrip, you can't really keep up. But I'll have Plague Engineer and Pernicious Deed after board. Their creatures are already bigger than Endurance. If they level up both Paladin classes, it might be able to just win right now. Big Fetch Land puts 2 counters on their Enchantresses. Doomwake. That one's really good too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can I beat this? 12s. Yep, there's that. Late Prismatic Vista, that's good for 2 Felidars. Level 2, the Paladin class. Creatures get bigger. Stacking is happening. There's Endurance. Gonna bomb that Life from the Loam. Get tucked. They have 13 cards in their hand. Alright, Moral Victory killed an Enchantress in combat. Fetching in response, that makes it slightly bigger. If they can play an enchantment. Alright. If they play 2 enchantments now, my Endurance dies. There's one. I'm really worried about both Choke and Blood Moon in the sideboard games. There's Sithis. That also kills my Endurance because it's an enchantment. I'm very dead. Gotta play like I have something. Another Paladin class. Guess I should force this, because that's the last spell I get to play. Gotcha. Now I get to F6 and die to infinite damage. Let's see if he wants to respect the clock and just attack real quick, or if he wants to completely stunt and show off for the stream. Paladin class just leveled up to 3. So did the other one. There's going to be so many triggers. Oh no, the other one just went to 2. Okay, there's going to be so many triggers to click through right now. And I'm going to take millions of damage. The level 3 of Paladin class is whenever you attack, until end of turn, target attacking creature gets +1 and gains double strike for each attacking creature. Oh, it is target creature. Okay, I thought it was all creatures. Never mind. There's only going to be 2 triggers. Fetching Prismatic Vista. Fails to find a basic land. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I must have drawn too many. Okay. Good to know. Plague Engineer is coming in. Narset's coming in. Pernicious Deed. Veil Carpet, Run Afoul don't matter. Feathersworn Canonist could be good. I don't think I want Surgical or Mystical Dispute. Veil Seeds. Paradox Zone could be reasonable, I guess. I don't know. Alright, Swords to Plowshares. Not great. There are targets, but it's not great. I want all of my forces to survive the early turns with... Oh, Dress Down is an out too. Enchantress. I wasn't even thinking about that. That's actually huge. If I can dress down and then Witherbloom command and Enchantress. Wow. Unreal. They are a Loam deck, so I kind of want to respect Endurance a little bit. Also Endurance to loop yourself if this comes down to decking, which it might. I actually think Canonist is going to hurt me more than help me. Like, Narset is already doing what Canonist would be doing, and there will be turns where I need to, like, cantrip into Deed or cantrip into Prismatic Ending or whatever. Veil Summer, Run Afoul, Carpet, Surgical, and none of these other cards look good. Paradox Zone's the only one I'm in the maybe zone about, but they've got cast downs and stuff like that. They have clean answers to that. I should probably expect Rest in Peace. Oh wait, they're a Loam deck. Should I expect Rest in Peace? Weird. Okay, yeah, that makes a weird layer on this normally pretty straightforward matchup. I want all my forces in. They could have Choke or a Blood Moon, both of which are actually pretty likely, I would say. Seeds is only artifacts. Okay, here we go. Bring in 3 extremely potent cards here. Or, yeah, 4 total, but 3 different extremely potent cards. Yuck. I have to mulligan this. Do I? I mean, nope, keeping it. I have Force of Will. I get to draw a card and then cast Brainstorm. 4 looks at 1,000,000 lands. If I find the second land, Witherbloom command finds the third, and we're in business. Paladin class, okay. On deck. All right, I'm going to get Underground Sea and cast Brainstorm here. Here we go. Okay, I found a land. I'm going to put Teferi and Witherbloom command on top. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have put Teferi on top. Am I going to want that? I'm going to Force a Will Enchantress this turn. Fuck, I wish I had the land. I guess I have to force, though. Like, I could give them 1 turn of drawing cards. Unfortunately, I can't dress down and Witherbloom. Yeah, I think I have to force this. Force, pitching, dress down. Yeah, I want Jace. That's one of the real ways I can win a game. Witherbloom command. Target player mills 3. I lose my Teferi, but they're a Loam deck. Yeah, I'll target myself and Pally class. Green, black. I hit my Loam, but milled another Plague Engineer, so it's down to 1 of those. Let's hope they play another Argothian Enchantress this turn. You know, don't normally root for that, but yeah, Brainstorm missing on the second land. I wish I could have held that Force of Will, cleanly answered the Enchantress on curve. Yuck. Okay, there she is. And Carpet, that's a really good one. Do I fight over Carpet? My deck has Prismatic Endings in it. I lose Jace if I do this. Ugh. No, I'll actually keep Jace and pitch Brainstorm. Respect the Carpet. If they get up under me, I'm not going to win. I'm not going to Dredge Loam this turn. I'm going to fetch Savannah, just in case they choke. Human Druid. Clear that out. I don't like where this game is right now. Civis is a Nymph. Civis is also a legend that they can now protect with their own Caracas. Wow. On Thin Ice. All of this because Brainstorm didn't find the second land. I can Dredge Loam, set up Jace for next turn, or try to spike now. I'm going to try to spike now. Fuck. Force a negation. I can dress down in their upkeep, or in my end steps, probably better. Yeah, I would think that's better. Not going to Dredge Loam. Enchantress's Presence. I'm going to Force a negation that. I'm getting 2 for 1 so many times, but it's stopping their infinity for once. Still not dredging Loam. Okay. We get Tropical Island. Start brainstorming. These are actually pretty good. I'm going to put Wasteland Caracas back on top. Holding the ending. I can dredge into those if I want to do that. Probably do. See if they can remove Jace this turn. Cast out. Okay. I can Prismatic Ending that, get my Jace back. I can draw Caracas, bounce their Civis, get my Jace back. Prismatic Ending on cast out. Blue, black, white, green. There's Jace. Gonna Brainstorm. Not gonna Dredge Loam. I should have Dredged Loam. That's okay. Put back the 2 fetch lands, play Caracas, send Sithis back, at least tax the mana a little bit. And I'm definitely dredging Loam this turn, clearing those 2 lands I don't want on top of the deck. Wasting my Caracas. I have Loam in the graveyard already. Temporary measure. Doomwake Giant, okay. My removal are still in the deck for the most part. I dredge Loam. There's Uro, I like that. I want to Brainstorm first or Uro first. Loaming doesn't help here. I could just unsummon Doomwake Giant. I'm holding Wasteland. Yeah, I'm gonna unsummon Doomwake Giant. Wasteland their Caracas. And then bring back Uro. Okay, here's Uro. I found Swords to Plowshares. That'll check the Doomwake or the Sithis, whatever comes down next. Zera Sanctum's good for 1 right now. Sithis is an enchantment itself, so that's also... They can basically cost a green this turn. If you play Sithis first, then tap Sanctum. Slamming Doomwake back down again. I like that. That's pretty desperate. Okay, we're in business. Okay, Swords to Plowshares, this. Brainstorm with Jace. Put back Ending and Tundra. So I'm about to draw the Tundra anyway. And then Narset will take control of this game. I haven't made my land drop yet, right? Wasteland, Caracas, Flooded Strand. Green, green. And then I can play Caracas and Narset. And we're under control. Prismatic Ending. Okay. All right, let's go. In pretty good control here. And the opponent agrees. All right. 1 game left for $500. Doomwake Giant. Does that mean I want another Swords to Plowshares in the deck? In Sithis, the Plague Engineers line up well against the creatures I can't plow, and then it lines up poorly against the creatures I can plow, so maybe I do want additional plows in. Burrow is really important. Maybe Baleful Strix is like medium to bad. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it like this. All right, let's go. 1 less Strix, 1 more plow. I'm gonna keep this hand. It has Force of Will and Narset. Prismatic Ending, start it off. Okay, that was a great draw. I get to play around Wasteland a little bit. Or choke. What do you got here? Sithis. That's the one I'm worried about. I'm gonna Brainstorm in response. Or I could just Force Pitch Strix. Yeah, Force Pitch Strix. This one has power and toughness, so I'm gonna just respect that. I might have gambled a turn against an Argothian Enchantress, but that one can actually attack and kill Narset over eventual time. That's not Wasteland. That makes me very happy. Utopia Sprawl resolves. The card's a lot less impressive when it's not a cantrip. And that means they don't have an Enchantress effect this turn, or they could play Enchantress's Presence still and just think that advancing the board. Okay, deal. Narset, make this perfect for me. I'm going to Brainstorm in the end step. Okay, Force of Will, big find here. Strix is a card I'm pretty happy to pitch to Force. I'm going to put Brainstorm Bayou on top of the deck, and I'm going to draw the Bayou. I'm going to get Tropical Island and Savannah. I have to commit to 1 extra island here, but I don't have to commit to 2. And I have Force to protect the Narset. And this counters the Enchantress's Presence. So Narset bricked. That's a relief for my opponent. I'm untapping into Jace, though. I am way ahead currently. Let's see if it holds. Destiny Spinner. If I don't counter this, I can't counter anything. Creatures and enchantments you control can't be countered. But this itself can be countered. The last chance for that. Let's see what the slow roll was. Do you have Oblivion Ring? All right, it was choke. I did play around that where I could. Activate Narset. Okay, Prismatic Ending in my hand. I can exile the choke next turn. They're down to 1 card, plus their draw step, 2 cards. Okay, I can get rid of the choke here. Prismatic Ending on choke. Green, black, white. That's gone. Let me untap with Jace. Let me untap with Jace. Come on. Okay, I don't care about that at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can clear this now and then set up for Jace next turn. Or I could just get Jace going and bet that they don't have one of their pump spells. No, I'm going to play safe. Black, and I'm going to tap non-islands where I can. I don't want to give them a single turn where they could develop any resource that is against my permission. Okay, another dead presence. It's looking good, team. Blue, not island, not island. Blue. I'm just going to start going upstairs with Jace. I do not bottom that. Utopia Sprawl I don't care about. I'll force the will to protect myself now. I think we're about to make $500, team. You can keep that forest. Don't care about that. There's the forest we just saw. Jace you again. Sithis. Yes, I do want to bottom Sithis. That one is actually scary. I mean, not really, I guess. Like, I could just not attack with Plague Engineer and Sithis is fine. Wasteland was their draw for the turn. Brainstorm. Love to see it. Plus with Jace, you can keep Bayou. Not going to Brainstorm. No reason to. My hand's already great. There's the Bayou. Dramatic Ending just in case. Jace is now deadly. On Thin Ice. No, you can have On Thin Ice. I don't care about the Plague Engineer. That's not my win condition. We did it, squad. We did it on the final shot. Got to take a quick screenshot for Spunky. We did it. 5-0 with 4-color Bant. Slightly tuned for the combo heavy Magic Online metagame. If you understand the metagame and understand how legacy decks work, this deck has all the tools to beat everything. Like, if you don't know what Enchantress does or how to fight it, that might have been a hard matchup, but after board, like Plague Engineer and Pernicious Deed really changed the math. Narset was a huge deal. You just become a prison deck against a deck like that. Wow, this is a relief. This is my third full-length video in a week about this deck. I don't have a whole lot to say about the cards. I think this is the exact 75 I would play if there was a Grand Prix tomorrow. I might edge slightly back towards fair for like Grand Prix play, but also maybe I wouldn't because you're already really good against the fair decks. As long as you don't get cheesed out, you're going to win. I might just keep the combo slant permanently. But yeah, this is my try hard 75 at the moment as of whatever today is. And I highly recommend it. We went 4-1, losing in the final round. We went 3-0 and then lost 2 in a row. And then put up the trophy on the final go. 3 positive leagues, 2 trophy playoffs, so 1 that actually got there, and $500 in the pocket. Thank you, Spunky. This was a delight. I'm feeling the pressure. I've been feeling the pressure all week, and I like that pressure. It's a pressure I haven't felt since there haven't been real Magic tournaments since COVID, etc. But I'm glad it is nice to feel that while I'm just at home recording content. Adds an extra layer, and I hope it was exciting for the people at home too. Let me know in the comments if this sort of high stakes playoff is exciting for you to watch, because it's exciting for me to play. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Spunky, for sponsoring this crazy challenge. And thank you, PokeMoki, for the core of this deck. And thanks for talking to me about card choices as well. Shout out to everyone involved. Thank you all for watching. See you next time.